Jai Bharat to all students. In last lecture, we have completed Henry Fayol's 14 Principle of Management. It's an important question. Okay, 14 Principle of Management. Okay. So now in today's lecture, we will start new topic, which is function of management. We already discussed different function of management, which are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Okay, we also discuss the graph of planning, organize, staffing, and directing and controlling. Okay, so in this topic we will discuss more about the different function of management. Okay, so in first lecture we will start with planning, then organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Okay, this function of management we already discussed planning. Okay, so now planning. So as a word say, planning is the deciding in advance. Okay, we have to decide what we will going to do, when to do, how to do. Okay, what is to be done, when and where, how and by whom it is to be done. Okay, so what time it is, how can we done this, then by how many people or worker we have to use to complete this task. Okay, so all the details we have to in advance we have to plan. Okay, so planning is the bridge, the gap from the where we are to where we want to go. Our where we want to go is our completing the our task. Okay, so it includes the selection of objective, different policy, procedure, method or program from among our alternative. How many alternative are there? Okay, let's say we have 2 to 3 alternative to complete our goals, to complete our objective. Okay, so from different alternative we have to choose one. Okay, for time consuming, financially less. Okay, so that alternative we have to in advance we have to plan everything. Okay, plan is a predetermined course of action to achieve specified goal. Okay, we in advance we have to predetermine, okay, to complete our goals. Okay, also planning is the to anticipate to future in order to achieve better performance. Okay, for better performance in advance we have to take attempt in planning. Okay, planning is the primary function of management. We already discussed that in function. First part is planning, then second organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Okay, now nature of planning. uh, First, contribution to the objective. Okay, planning is our main objective is to complete the specified goal, complete the specified objective. Okay, in ever changing environment of today, the objective have to be very carefully chosen and planned, systematically made for the purpose of our goals. Okay, first of all we have to identify that we what are the objective of our company, of our organization. Okay, let's say example we have to make phone. Okay, so making 100 phone a day is our target. Okay, so first of all we have to choose objective. Okay, and then to complete that objective goals we have to make systematically plan that how many workers is going to be there, how many raw materials is are there, how many money is required, how many times is required. Okay, so in that for the complement of goal for our company or organization we have to make planning. Okay, we have to make carefully chosen plan, systematically we have to make plan. Okay, then second, primary function of management. Okay, of all the function, other four function of management: planning, organization, directing, controlling. Planning is the primary. Okay, without planning there is a no other function are to be there. Okay, so first of all we have to complete the planning function. So without proper planning, other managerial functions shall not be followed. Okay, so first of all, to complete the all the function of management, we have to make proper planning. Okay, then all the perceived function, whatever the organization, business or non-business, profit making or not profit making, planning prevails everywhere. Okay, all in all the organization, in all the business or not business, or a profit making or NGO, non-profit making. Okay, they will require planning. Okay, right from the top level management to the low level management. Okay, so in all the organization, planning is required. And efficiency of planning, efficiency is defined as the achievement of the ends with the least amount of resources. Okay, after planning, what are the, if there is a plan is followed throughout the organization throughout the time. Okay, now achievement is are there or not. Okay, efficiency. Okay, we have plan, that plan must be efficient, that we be achieved with a minimum cost in terms of times and money. As I said earlier, if let's say there is a three alternative plan. Okay, so we have to choose one plan that which have less time and less money consuming. Okay, so that we can make the plans efficient. Okay, and we can follow that plan. Okay, now what are the planning process? Okay, first of all, we have to identify goal. Okay, what we have to make in the next future 10 days, 1 month. Okay, let's say example, we want to make 100 fonts daily. Okay, so this is our goal. Okay, and different it's a material or different objective. Okay, so goal setting, first of all we have to identify and formulation of different types of objective, then we can make the planning based on that goal. Yes, then we have to develop a plan. Okay, development of alternative plan, let's say 2 or 3 plan, and then we have to evaluate them for different plan. Okay, so we can choose a best plan among 2 or 3 plans. Yes, after goal setting, we have to make different alternative plan, and from we have to make evaluation whether this plan will make time consuming, this is a money consuming, this is a resource consuming. Okay, for a different plan we have to evaluate them, and we have to choose one plan, and then we have to, that one plan we have to implement, and we have to make work according to that one plan. Implementation of plan means selection of that plan. Okay, so this is a planning process: goal setting, developing plan, and implementation. After, let's say if we want to revise a plan, okay, after implementation, so revision of goals and plan, again this first step will be started for the revision of plan. Okay, so this is a planning process. Okay, so first of identification of goals and objective. Planning cannot be successful unless we know that when what is headed. Okay, so we have to make sure we have number of goals. Okay, the enterprise, company or organization must clearly set the objective for the entire organization. Okay, in this goal setting we have to make sure all the we have to set the objective for the entire organization. Okay, for a different department at the same level and for the different level in the organization. Okay, all the objective for different department, overall goal or different level, we have to make all we have to make sure that identification of goals is necessary, all as well as objective. Okay, first of all we have to make sure we have to make goals and objective at the different department at the same level also. Okay, entire organization. Okay, then next, development of alternative plan. Okay, after manager are clear of what goals are to be attained, they must thinks of different way and means to complete them. Okay, now we have make goals and objective. Okay, so for completement of goals, we have to think about how can we complete that goal. Okay, so there are always 2 or 3 paths to completement of goals. Okay, so we have to make alternative plans of action. Okay, so since there is cannot be a best way, there is not only in first of all we have identified that this path is always safe. Okay, so all possible alternative of achieving the objective are sought for the by the manager. Okay, all possible alternative we have to study them. Okay, then third step will be evaluation of different plan. Okay, now once the manager are able to perceive different way of achieving the goals, they have to select the most appropriate. Okay, yes, from 3 to 4 plans, we have to select one most appropriate plan which will be adaptive within the given framework of resources. Our what are the resources we have, what are the money we have, what are the workers we have. Okay, and due care must be taken to adopt a plan which is flexible. Okay, which can be modified according to the situation. Flexible means we can modify according in the time. Okay, in after 1 month, let's say we have to choose different path. Okay, then it can be flexible. Okay, and also acceptable by the organization member, and it's cost effective. That plan we have to choose. Okay, then selection after through a rational decision making process, the manager will now choose the one best course of action which shall be implemented for the achievement of our organization goal or complement of our goals. Okay, so these are the planning process. Okay, goal setting, identification of objective, development plan, development of alternative plan, and evolution of different plan, and selection, implementation of that particular plan. Now, what are the importance of planning? Okay, importance means efficient use of resources. Okay, as I said earlier, if we have 100 raw material available, so we can only make 100 mobile phone. Yes, so all the organization, large and small, have limited resources. Okay, so the planning process provide the information to the top management needs to make effective decision about how to allocate the resources, at what time this raw material will require. Okay, at what day material will be required. Okay, so planning means efficient use of resources also, as well as efficient use of worker or employer. Okay, that will able to organization to reach its objective. Our main task is the reach to the objective, reach to the goals. Okay, then establishing goals. Okay, setting goals that challenge everyone in the organization to strive for the better performance. Okay, we now let's assume that in today we have make of 50 mobile phones in a day. Okay, so now we make the goals that in the future in 2 months or 1 month we have to make hundreds mobile phone per day. Okay, so everyone in the organization, worker, manager, okay, so they will give better performance. Okay, to complete that goal. Okay, so we can make the better performance for the setting settlement of establishing a goals. Okay, so goal must be aggressive but realistic. Okay, if we make 50 mobile phone per day now, then we do not have set the goal that in month we will make 500 mobile phone in a day. Okay, so that's not possible, that's not realistic. First of all, we have to from 50 we have to make 100, then from 100 we have to make 200, 300, 400, then we can set the goal of 500 mobile phone in a day. Okay, so goal should be aggressive but realistic. Okay, establishment of goals, then okay, So organization cannot allow themselves to become too satisfied with the how they are currently doing. Okay, if they are making 50 mobile phone, okay, so in future we do not want to make 50 mobile phone in the all the time. We want to make progress. Okay, so also we want to make the with the competitors also. Okay, so goals are there to be progress, better performance. Okay, then next is managing risk and uncertainty. Okay, managing risk is essential to any organization success. Okay, even the largest corporation cannot control the economic and competitive environment around them. Okay, so uh, all the organization have to quickly before negative financial consequences from this event. Okay, so they have to manage risk. Okay, if that happen, like say economic crisis or fiscal. Okay, fiscal means power વધારો. Okay, so they have to manage a risk. Okay, so that their financial product, their financial stability will not go become negative. Okay, from that event. Okay, so they have to always make the risk. Okay, how can we manage risk? From planning. Okay, so planning encourage the development of what if that will become, that will be become what if in futures there will be no rain. Okay, what if this will happen. Okay, so they in planning, first of all they decide that if that happen, how can we survive. Okay, how can what are the possible risk factor. Okay, so we have to make the contingency plan. Okay, so we can make sure managing risk. Then team building. Okay, in planning we have to make sure of the always employee and worker. Okay, so planning promote team building and the spirit of corporation. Okay, when the plan is completed and communicated to the all the member of organization, so everyone knows what are their responsibility and how other area of the organization need their assistance and expertise in order to complete assigned task. Okay, if in planning we already discussed that this work will completed by this group of people, this work is completed by this group of people. Okay, so everyone in the organization, everyone worker, manager, uh, they know that what is the task is there, what are the responsibility of them. Okay, and how can we complete that particular task. Okay, in addition they will know in okay, so now they will promote team building and complete the work. Okay, so they how their work contribute to the successful of organization. Okay, then next is limitation. Okay, what are the limitation of planning? First, uncertainty of future event. As I said earlier, planning is a future based event. We in 2 months, 1 year, what are we are going to do? Okay, so it's one of the biggest difficulty of planning process. Okay, uncertainty of future. In future, what will happen? We will not know. Okay, so planning is related with the forecasting of future event. We have to forecast that this will happen in advanced manner. Okay, so we all know that future is uncertain and risk oriented. What will happen tomorrow we can't say with the proper certainty. Okay, so we can predict about the future event through the planning. Okay, so it's not important that prediction which are made by us will be in accurate form. Okay, we have to keep in mind that this planning, okay, it's not always accurate. Okay, so there is always a fear of uncertainty of future condition in the planning. Okay, so this is the biggest limitation of planning. Then second is costly. Okay, it also create a huge problem in the course of making plans of an organization. Why? Because planning refers to the expensive process because it's required lots of investment in the starting of task. starting of company, okay, investment of money as well as effort. In fact, and planning involves collection of information and data from different source and environment, so that expert are needed to put into the work in this field, okay, so which make planning process more expensive, okay. To company start, in first of all planning, they have to make lots of investment to make resources available, to make the how many workers are there, okay, so they will require more money, okay, so this will become costly process, so that our product will be going to be costly, okay. Then uh, time consuming process. Planning is the time consuming, okay, because planning requires lots of time for thinking, okay, we will require 2 or 3 different plan, and that different plan we have to make one final plan to implement it, okay, so planning is required most of the time, okay. Evaluating the business condition and drawing the final plan, yes, and in case of emergency or important decision is required, it will take optimum time, okay, so and business will lose its golden opportunity, okay, so as a result business organization cannot be run smoothly for a long period, okay, so planning is also a time consuming process, it will a lot time required for the thinking. Then lack of accuracy, we already know that in future tomorrow what will happen we will do not know for certainty, okay, so there is a lack of proper accuracy in planning, okay, so we already know that planning is based on future, and futures is always uncertain and unpredictable, okay, what will occur tomorrow we can't say with the proper certainty, okay, so it's require proper accuracy, okay. Thus, to make a reliable data and accurate prediction is too necessary. Okay. In absence of this data and accurate prediction, there is a chance of business loss. Okay. If we do not acquire proper prediction, proper data, then business will lose and failure. Okay. So proper accuracy is required, and this will cost as a business loss, okay, so these are the limitation of planning, okay. So now we have discussed first function of management, which is planning, yes. In next lecture we will discuss organization, okay. So this is your today's assignment question, short note on nature of planning and short note on importance and as well as limitation of planning, okay. You have to write it down in book and upload it in red and white for attendance purpose. So now today's lecture is completed.